Declan Rice becomes an Arsenal hero with a 97th minute winner to put Arsenal 6 points clear of Manchester City, 5 points clear of Liverpool in the title race. In a game, they scored 4 away from home. It was a disaster class from Raya, but the much maligned Kai Havertz got the equaliser. And then with the last kick of the game, could you, do you believe it? Arsenal send their fans into ecstasy. Luton crumble before our very eyes. And this title race is absolutely, monumentally on fire. And we don't know the significance exactly of that goal yet. But come May, how important may that goal from Kai Havertz be? That goal from Declan Rice be? 3 massive points away at Luton in a game that they should have been winning. Let us not get that twisted. A game they dominated. They had the majority of the ball, 66%. They had 21 attempts on goal compared to 6. Arsenal were by far and away the better football team. But sometimes in football, there's something that you cannot necessarily legislate for. And what you see happen in that game was David Raya drop an absolute disaster class. He was absolutely abysmal. First of all, very early on in the second half, come out, catch the cross from the corner. It was fairly simplistic. He mistimed his position. He mistimed his jump, and he was caught out. And because he was caught out, it put Arsenal under tremendous pressure. Then there's a decent bit of play and a decent shot from Ross Barkley. But by no means should that shot ever, in a month of Sundays, be going in. And suddenly Arsenal were looking at a situation where they're dominating the ball, they're dominating the play, they've barely given away any clear-cut opportunities. And because of their goalkeeper, they're in trouble. And then what it needed is what I call champions mentality. And that is exactly what you saw from Arsenal Football Club. They responded to going down 3-2 very quickly. Good play from Gabriel Jesus. He plays in Kai Havertz, who scores another pivotal goal. Another very pivotal goal. So I'm just updating the title of the video here as I speak. Apologies. A pivotal goal. And then Luton dig in, and then it becomes harder and harder for Arsenal. But not for the first time this season. They come up trumps when it matters. Champions mentality. They played until the end. And do you know what was so impressive about that final goal? So impressive about that final goal is the way they didn't just whip the ball in early. They created the right angle for the cross. It was perfect. And they deserve to win this game, Arsenal. And Luton, I made a note of it here, their pressure, their aggression, their work rate made it very difficult. This is why it's the hardest league in the world. It's why it's the most difficult to win in. It's why winning the Premier League is now the most decorated league title in world football. It's fact as far as I am concerned. And it can be difficult. But if you take away the 2 horrendous goalkeeping mistakes, this was a 4-1 win. Arsenal played a game that was a 4-1 win. And Luton would have come out if they were 3-1, 2-1, 3-1 down later in the game, opened up. They would have caught them more. They'd have banged in a few more goals. So Arsenal didn't get to further their goal difference. And I know that will infuriate some Arsenal fans. But there's only one person really to blame for that. And that is Raya. I know Kivior didn't have a good game. I know that Arsenal weren't maybe at their scintillating best in everybody's opinion. But the 2 goals they conceded to make it 2-2 and 3-2 down, you can't really legislate for. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. There is something special brewing about this Arsenal team. There is a mentality there that I haven't seen for 20 years. I haven't seen an Arsenal team with this mentality for 20 years. Now, they need to maintain it. They need to continue to push through any kind of adversity that they face. But this Arsenal team is scary. This Arsenal team is dangerous. And this Arsenal team can win the Premier League. And it's results like today that should be making Arsenal fans believe. I really and truly believe that. Some super chats here. This one obviously came in before the end. IFL said, can't beat Luton. Pep's fourth title loading. Well, IFL, you shot your load too early there, my friend. Declan Rice, 41. Let me just say this about Declan Rice. I haven't really gone into any players yet. I want to go into your super chats because I know so many of you are doing it, and I appreciate that. By the way, remember, we're sponsored tonight. We are sponsored tonight by BetMGM. Golden Goals. You've got until 7:30 tomorrow night to get all your 6 predictions in. You can win £2 million. If you haven't downloaded their app yet, what are you waiting for? We're looking for record-breaking participation numbers this week. So get it done now. I know you're watching me, and I love that. If you're in the UK, if you're over the age of 18, scan that QR code or download the link now and play the game. £2 million up for grab, and it costs you nothing ever at no point to play Golden Goals. So get that done. But yes, look, Declan Rice tonight. Declan Rice again. Look, I don't think he actually had his best game ever in terms of his overall play in the centre. I don't. However, this man for £100 million is a bargain. Out of all the 80 to 100 plus million pound players purchased in Premier League history, so far, I genuinely believe he's the best. I genuinely believe by far and away he's settled quickly. He has taken Arsenal's midfield to another level. I know he didn't get the final goal in the Man United game, but it's twice now that he's essentially got the winning goal in 2 big games. That's generated an extra 4 points. Pretty much the majority of your league at the top of the table. And his mentality is elite. His availability is elite. His leadership, whether he's got the armband or not, is irrelevant. He is an absolute bargain at £100 million. What a signing. And that's what Anthony here says. Rice, he is him. 100 million bargain. Also, Kai had another excellent game. Don't look now, but that's 3 goals in 4 games. We need to talk about Raya. We'll be talking Raya with the panel when they come out tonight, because that's, for me, that's the only thing that I think Arsenal fans, look, Kiwior wasn't good tonight, but as much as he wasn't good, the goals weren't conceded because of his bad defending. They were just 2 terrible goalkeeping mistakes, in my personal opinion. So I don't really think you can look at any of that. But Declan Rice, great. Look, Kai Havertz now. I said this about him. He's never going to be Zidane. Don't set that standard. He's never going to be Bergkamp. Don't set that standard. But all the goals he scored in the last 4 games, those 3 goals, they're exactly what he should be scoring. And if he starts nodding in these goals more and more and more, he's going to repay £65 million price tag. If you think about in the Premier League in recent games, he has been pivotal to you picking up 6 points. Your lead, you could look at that 6-point lead over City, and Kai Havertz is an influential part of that. Not the only part, but an influential part in that. And that, whether you like it or not, needs credit. Champions mentality is what Plasma Fam says. Big up Terry, come on you gooners. It's from my guy Luke Skywalker. Luton robbed, ref gave an extra 2 minutes. Well, he didn't. I think they scored at like 96 minutes and 20 seconds. And I actually think he was right in doing that, because there was 6 minutes of time added on, but there were delays within the 6 minutes as well. So there was no robbery there, in my opinion. 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again, is what Jack says here. I feel so sorry for Luton, as they were so brave, and I don't care whether Arsenal fans will gloat about they struggled against this brave Luton team. It's interesting, Jerome, that you're I do feel a bit sorry for Luton as well. I will admit to that. I feel sorry for Luton. I think they had an excellent game tonight by a team of their standards. I do think Arsenal deserved to win. In terms of play, Luton didn't rip them apart. Luton scored 2 goals that their goalkeeper should have saved. So that's the difference for me. But I do get where you're coming from, because I feel sorry for them as well. Arsenal getting away with another criminal performance. Interesting take. I just think the only criminal out there tonight was David Raya. Just got to hold our hands up and say, yep, that's a £100 million player. Him and Bellingham are the world's best midfielders as of now. Klopp, save us now, is what DR has got to say. A Chelsea fan, desperate for the Gooners not to win the Premier League. So Raya can't collect corners and can't get down quick enough at his near post. Thought he was an upgrade. At least Ramsdale can make a save. Look, that's a situation that needs to be resolved, and it's It's probably the only area right now, barring mass injuries, I think could cost Arsenal this season is the goalkeeper situation, because when they either play, they look nervous, they look poor, and so far it isn't working out for Arteta how we wanted. I don't think Ramsdale's dad has helped the situation. And it's probably one of the only areas I think you've got to fix, barring the window and adding more players, of course. 160 million well spent. Come on, you gooners, is what AJ says here. Daniel with a super chat. He didn't say anything, but thank you for the donation, brother. Raya putting on his best Unana impression. I'm not going to lie. The Man United fan to me was like, if Arsenal lose, I'm so glad it's my goalkeeper dropping these performances. Didn't happen though, did it? Because you guys are clutch. I don't want rivals comparing their rejects to Declan Rice again. Only conversation I'll tolerate is Rodri. I hear you on that. I do hear you on that. Let's do some more of these super chats. Rice right now, the best summer signing. I think that's undebatable in my opinion. Smash the like button. Of course, if you haven't hit the like button yet, what are you doing, my people? Nearly 9,000 people watching. We should easily be sitting there on like 3, 4, 5,000 likes. Get that done, my people. Kai Havertz scores again. Yes, he does, my friend. The name Declan Rice is going into my future son's name one way or another. Raya needs to do better, but a win is a win. Come on, you gooners. Arsenal should have had a pen late on when Gabriel was pulled in the box. The Jesus moment wasn't a penalty at all. I think there was a case for a pen for Gabriel Jesus. I couldn't believe one wasn't given to Saka. He got clattered after the ball. I was so shocked that wasn't given. Immaterial now, but yeah, I think they were both decisions that should have been looked at closer. Someone tell Lee Gunner that if his wife isn't making him happy in bed, Kai Havertz is going to make him happy on the pitch. I'm not going to say that to Lee, but I was watching his watch along when Kai Havertz scored. He celebrated. He didn't know it was Kai Havertz, and then he took it back.